I'm also getting attacked by this branch. Every time I move it wants to come with me. So I am in Linlithgow, just next to the loch, looking over Linlithgow Palace. It's a beautiful, beautiful sunny day. Everyone's out because it's Easter weekend. Unfortunately for photography, it's a beautiful, beautiful day and everyone's out for the weekend. So there's lots of people around. The sun is extremely bright, hence why I'm using these. But I've always wanted to come down to, let's come over a bit. I've always wanted to come down to Linlithgow and get the palace. And I had a bit of spare time today, so I thought I'll just come down, and I found this fallen tree, which is a perfect leading line straight up to the Linlithgow Palace itself. I have, obviously it's so bright, it's pretty much just gone well, it's about 2:30, so seriously bright. The sun is behind me though, so it's quite fortunate. It's actually, you know, it's illuminating everything in front of me, including these gnarly branches that is the leading line up to the palace itself. But it's yeah, so bright. What I've put my variable natural density filter on my camera, and I've just made it pure blackout, as max as I possibly can, dialed in so I can get a wee bit of long exposure going on, just because of the water. It's all ripple, so it's nice if it's flat. The unfortunate thing there is there's fishermen on the loch at the moment fishing, which is lovely, but with a long exposure they become a wee bit blurred, and it's a wee bit kind of strange what's going on, so that might need a wee bit of post to remove the white stripe, which is the boat when it moves in the long exposure. But it's coming out nice. I'm going to flip over to portrait now and hopefully get more of this fallen tree that's sitting in the loch, and also the palace itself. And then I'm going to wander around. I'm going to see if there's any more compositions of the similar subject, obviously, just a wee bit more variation to it. So similar kind of idea here, but instead of having the water soft, I've come over here to the reeds, and I'm pretty high up, as you can tell. Extended everything on this camera and the tripod as high up as it can go, just to skim over the top of the reeds. Again, long exposure, so we get a bit of movement on the reeds themselves, and obviously the backdrop being the palace itself. I'll put a polarize on this just to cut some of the glare, because I've turned around a wee bit. The sun is actually coming across from our right in the shot. So I'm going to try a couple of variations here, stretch out the exposure time, hopefully for a wee bit of wind, just to move the reeds that wee bit more. So it's really a bit trial and error, to be honest here. We're still getting a little bit of water behind the reeds, and obviously the green going into the palace itself, so it's quite a nice layer effect that's going on here. So again, just something different. We're in this location, we might as well work the location as much as possible and see what options there are. And this is only about 20 yards round the corner from where I was just before, with the leading line of that fallen tree.